Hello everybody, what's going on? Real Diversity here. We are back with another video. I kind of wanted to just bring some quick decks here. I'm not going to make this video too long or in-depth because it's really a one-day thing for the peak hot location today. So just want to run through a deck I've been using and some options. First, let me just show you the deck I've been using. This was like the Mr. Negative deck. I made one adjustment. I can't remember who I switched out. Oh, I had Doom. I had Dr. Doom in here. But I took him out for Super Scroll. Super Scroll is just doing a lot better today. Obviously, it is a card that you really don't. Today's a day, and I've noticed this. I don't think I've seen anyone playing unless they're playing a negative deck, if not just like an Iron Man Mystique deck right now. So a lot of people either just aren't playing right now. A lot of bads going on too, because you obviously want to. It's great for me because I have a decent sized deck. But I do know any of those earlier pool threes, you're only really probably playing like Ironheart, Iron Man, and like Wolfsbane at most. Like those are definitely the cards you want. Like at minimum, you want those minimum in your deck. Also Angela, I can't remember. I think you get Angela pool 2, right? Pool 2 or something like that. So Angela's a good option as well. She becomes a 0-2, and then she can build on that and become up to basically a 0-8 for free, a free 8 power on the board. So Valkyrie is kind of my cure-all for when it comes to things like the Wolfsbane's out. Well, Valkyrie is just a big great card anyway. Today she doesn't actually hold a lot of weight today, except for if I play like Angela and then I play Iron Man or something, and they did not. Today's it's solid too, just in case we actually don't get the peak. So if we do play like Iron Man, then we can like Valk that turn 6, and win that lane or so, if we already kind of secured another lane. So you got options when it comes to here. You're not short of options. Also, Super Scroll is just kind of the best card to run today with these enormous amount of Iron Man Mystiques going running around. Also, earlier I did a trap play. Someone played like an early, they played an early Professor X, and I said perfect because I already had Super Scroll in my hand and I had Mystique. So I played them, and I locked up the other 2 lanes and won the game that way. So it is definitely a bunch of ways to play the game today. And so I think easily every deck needs Iron Man today, or you're just not gonna win. Also, like I said, substitute. So basically, pool 2 and below. Iron Man, Angela, Wolfsbane, and Ironheart for sure need to be in your deck today. I think it's kind of like the base everyone's playing. Maybe also some just some cards that maybe aren't as powerful as like their energy, which I think off the top of my head, like an earlier card, I'm thinking of Spectrum. Where's Spectrum at? Yeah, Spectrum's like a 5. So yeah, she's a solid card, I think, to throw in the deck if you're like pool 2 or something like that. Dr. Doom, but he's a pool 3 card. Leader also is a solid. I'm missing a little bit of Leader today. Like nothing too crazy. 2-6 is good. Seen a lot of Null today, but if you're doing that, then you basically you have to play like a Destroy type deck, and I don't think Destroy is really just that great with this the peak map or location. So here's another deck. This is the deck I climbed to Infinite last season with. It's like a negative deck hybrid. Negative hybrid like Sarah Miracle Hitmonkey deck. So this one, I have not tried this one out right now, but it probably would perform solidly looking at it. There is no Wong, so it's interesting because this deck is relying heavily on like Hitmonkey and like Ant-Man, so it still needs a lot, and I think I don't think this would do too bad today. I would take out Wasp for Super Scroll today though, just for today. If I did use this deck today, but this was the deck I comped Infinite with last season. So Hitmonkey has not been doing too great since then. Even though the Sandman has definitely gone down. I remember that was my arch nemesis, is a Wave Sandman combo. Now Wave wasn't too bad after a Sarah, but then I'm only able to play 2 cards. A lot of time that wasn't too bad, especially say they waved to me and then I played like Iron Man and Valkyrie on that turn. So it wasn't too bad. You know, depending on what I had in hand, what I had already played for the Wave. But definitely Sandman was annoying. But you know, we still had options for that too. Then we just kind of go with the basic Iron Man, and then we Valk and things like that. So we still had options, and so yeah, pretty solid low cost cards. Like I said, I would leave Ant-Man here mainly because you can play him turn 1, even if you like don't get the peak. If you do get the peak, he's a card you can throw immediately down. It's not gonna really matter. Yeah, like I said, I think I would take Wasp and Super Scroll in this one just for today. So yeah, Bishop's also another solid card. I can't remember. I think he's definitely a pool 3 card, but Bishop's solid. Hitmonkey solid. He's like a pool 6, but obviously if you got the season pass, it's always worth it. I think getting the season pass rather than waiting months for them to drop down. In my opinion, I think, which I found out recently. I want to say Darkhawk was a season. He was a season card. I want to say, I could be wrong about that. I think I heard that, and I was like, whoa. The fact that I don't have Darkhawk just because I didn't play the game slightly earlier. So yeah, let me actually go to. So here, let's actually do this. Let's filter this by. Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. Let's filter this by power, right? So we wanted to see our low powers. So Hobgoblin. I saw. You know what's funny too is I saw a Hobgoblin earlier. You can definitely play. Someone like knew that I was gonna fill up a lane, and they play Hobgoblin, and you know basically had a free 0/5. Artem Zola. I've been seeing a lot of Artem Zola. Have not been seeing any Cerebro decks, which I think. Oh yeah, it would just throw it off. Never mind. It would throw it off. I have not seen Dracula either. Surprisingly, I guess just because. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to play certain cards anymore, like Apocalypse. I have not seen Taskmaster, but I guess who would bounce up in power? Now you could play Black Panther. I'm probably not gonna scroll up that high up, but Black Panther is also a solid option because he becomes a 4 or 5, and so he now jumps to like immediately to a 10. So he becomes a 4/10, which is with no like downside basically. Most 4/10s have a downside. Oh, Wolfsbane, right? So, I did see some White Tigers today. Just anything you know has a big discrepancy. I've definitely seen today. Like I said already, leader. Just trying to see if I'm missing anything. Been seeing a lot of Zabu anyway. Like besides the, I've been using Wong. I haven't really seen too many other Wongs. I've been using Wong. I've seen Blue Marvels, definitely seen Blue Marvels. I think Delta Dinosaur, interesting enough, would be a decent to have today. But I don't bet. Also, it's kind of bad because you're not gonna have a full hand today. So there's that. Professor X, have definitely been seeing him. Sandman's actually solid today. Dang, when did he go back to a 5/3? They should have probably left him at a 5/4. He was not that powerful as a 5/5, but yeah, I don't know. I have not seen Shang-Chi just because of power. It's really been more Iron Man than anything else, so Shang-Chi's not really a great card today. Yeah, Claw's kind of interesting. Old Enchantress would have been probably seen a lot today, but she definitely is I would honestly, even but though she becomes a 5/4, I would, if I didn't want to like run a bunch of Ironmans and stuff like that today, I would probably still play Enchantress and just pray that I draw her later. Yeah, I have to say, I don't know why I'm just high up, because everyone now has a super high power. So yeah, that is the cards I would use basically. Valk's kind of underrated, but I know pull 3. I know Sarah's pull 3. I know Negative's pull 3. So a lot of the best decks today are pull 3 really. Like, and that's really it. Like, you don't even need pull 4 cards unless you're running Darkhawk, which I've seen that a little bit. But yeah, it's a pretty simple day. Just make a negative deck without really needing negative, and if you have negative, that's great, because he becomes a free 0/4. So yeah, I think that's really all I wanted to hit today. Obviously, you want to throw Bast in all of these decks just in case you don't get the peak. If you Bast and you're still in good shape, especially if like I said, if you're running Iron Man. So I might go ahead and give this deck a try. Like I said, I might sub out Wasp. Only downside to doing that is the hit monkey kind of takes a hit a little bit on the, like, in case we don't get the peak and we don't get certain cards. But other than that, yeah, this is, I think I might try out my winning deck from last season. But yeah, anyways, other than that, man, that is all I really wanted to say. Just wanted to get this video out real quick and make it real quick, just so you guys can have it before the thing ends. I had started playing last night, and surprisingly, it immediately was I have yet to get on today and not run into like someone taking advantage of the peak map. Same thing with that. You guys remember that one map where only cards with no abilities could be played there? That day I was seeing a bunch of Patriot decks. That day, so there's definitely pros and cons to today, but you definitely have to play a select deck today. So it's kind of, this is one of those maps like okay, so with that cards with no ability can be played. When that was a thing, like, you could still play a bunch of decks. Like, you could still play. I made sure my decks that day had Hood in it at least, so that I could get that free 1/6 in that lane. But like, other than that, like, I was also making sure I think it was a Dr. Doom deck, so I was not really concerned with that. You could work around it. You had options, but today you have like literally no options. Everyone's running the same cards today. It's no real. Well, there is variations. Like I said, Leader. There are some. I'm not touching some cards like Leader. I'm not touching like Sandman or anything like that. I'm not touching Professor X today. But I could easily do that. And well, actually, I have yet to see that. But a Leader, Professor X, like, shutdown he might make the deck. I might try that in a little bit to see. But other than that, that's a good option though. Try Mystique, Professor X. Let me know how that goes. I've noticed that I've been getting like Iron Man and Mystique in my hand, and then then a peak pops up. So I've been getting the cards I wanted like off rip. So it's pretty good today. So anyways, man, that's all I want to say. Like I said, I just wanted to make sure you guys was aware of the best cards. It's pretty obvious. I don't think I really got to go too in depth of strategies. Just kind of, like I said, you do want Bast as a contingency plan. You want to make sure that if you don't get the peak, now I will say it is like a 50-50 that you get that location today. It's not like you get it every single game. So you still need a backup plan, and your deck still has to be a viable deck. So that's why I think that's why I think what makes it more relevant. But yeah, again, Super Scroll is very frustrating, and if you don't have him, I'm sorry. I literally just got him like a few days ago. Let me see. I don't think he was the last. No, he was the last card I got, I think. Yep, the last card I got, him and Deadpool. So, yeah, the game knew what it was doing. But I would have probably spent my free. Speaking of free, I have not checked that today. Calling Wing. I've been seeing the same like 4 or 5 cars. I only got like a few left. Calling Wing, Mysterio, and like Titania, I think, and I think one more maybe. Few cars. I'm like, I need to just go ahead and get like Titania because of the I can go ahead and make a few decks. Like I already have Sauron, however you say his name, and I already got a few cards. So, but anyways, man, that is really all I want to talk about. Hit on today. I will go ahead and upload this video. It is kind of late in the day, so hopefully this can help someone climb a little bit in like their last 4, 5, 6 hours of climbing. I know I still got like 12. No, I got about like 7, 8 hours, so hopefully this helps.